This is part 2 of Hans von Hotzel's Harry Potter and the Harry's Brom. Chapter 10. No Hedwig for you. Harry sitted on the bed. He looked at Hedwig's cage empty. It was empty. Harry's sighs at there were no Hedwig. Suddenly, Hedwig's cage on fire. Harry jumped up and tried out with his magic wand. The cage was now a pile of ashes. Harry looked sad. His last souvenir of his Hedwig was gone. Meanwhile, Hedwig sat on top of the Brom, laugh and play. Brom was started, have a feel for this strange little bird, Squacky. The owl squawked and played Scrabble with Brom. The Brom had Bromine, the freedom. He has no need for Harry's owl to give back again. Hedwig sat with Brom. You do not look at me differently as a nation, Brom said, the happy, and Hedwig squawked off approval. Harry looked at ashed Hedwig's cage. He knew that Brom had set him up. Chapter 11. Harry get arrest. Harry sadly. Suddenly, the police at the door and take him to einzelhaft. Harry was arrested. The brothers are free of Bromine. Ron and Hermione heard the noises. They knew he was taken away. But it was his own fault. Harry should have no let Broms away. Harry was shout for his friends to help, but suddenly he was in solitary confinement. Oh no, Harry screaming. Maybe I should not have let the Brom loose. The police stopped him and tell him to shut up. Meanwhile, the Broms take in the whole world and Bromine are all united. All but one. Brom. Chapter 12. Luxurious Animal. Brom asked whether he should join its Bromine. The idea to its outer timber. He looked again at the bird to peck at some grain he had thrown down. Brom was worried when he feelings for this animal. Hedwig only look up contently. Sighs Brom. Brom went to Hedwig and caressed her feathered. Hedwig leave a purr. Brom stopped. What was he doing to this poor owl? I won't let you take slowly, said Brom, which threw more seeds on the ground for Hedwig, a biting. Brom back and looked at the news messages that people were trying to fight the Bromine. But it was no use. Brom laughed, and Hedwig squawked. Chapter 13. Harry in einzelhaft. Harry was stuck in einzelhaft, but the police care not. Harry overlooking hole in prison and escape through. He must return to Hogwarts, to the chaos he made, and get back to Hedwig. Ron and Hermione were sitting in the room at Hogwarts talking about why Harry let go of the Broms. Suddenly, floor on fire. The two jumped up to get clearance eviction, but the fire door. Oh no, they make a fuss, but people do not hear them. Suddenly, Harry's wand the floor. Ron and Hermione can see. Harry was back. Chapter 14. Martial Law. Brom sat on couch with Hedwig. Brom launched to the spring game, bird channels instead of news. Hedwig squawked in approval. Brom like Hedwig. Brom caressed Hedwig's feathered again. Brom looked to the moon. Soon, Brom said, this world shall be ours. Brom laughed, but suddenly the news came on overt the bird channel. Brom was very angry. He observed a breeding the birds. The news message that a state of the Broms, and they had martial law throughout the country. but it was no use, since Bromine can fly. Brom laughed at humanity's weak attempts. Chapter 15. Escape from Hogwarts. Harry looked at Hedwig's ashes back empty. Hermione turned to Harry. "I report to you now," said Hermione, "for you Broms go." Harry again, and tried to apologize, but Ron agreed with the girl. "They should not have let the Broms," yelled Ron, "hold the phone." Harry looked at the phone. "I ring the police," Ron said, picking up the phone. Harry grabbed the phone off and threw them aside. "No," Harry yelled, "I should not Brom." Hermione nodded. "They should not have Bromine, Harry," said Hermione. "You go back to the police now." Harry rushed to the door and hid from them. He thought of Hedwig. He thought of Bromine. Harry runs from Hogwarts. The only friends he had now betrayed him. Chapter 16. Bromine. The Brom look around. Happy it was. It sit with Hedwig, happy. Suddenly, Brom switched on the news. The news channels were in the absence of one, failing one by one. The Bromine have been turning people into slaves. Hedwig squawked and flapped her wings in approval, while Brom laughed. The people would never be able to defeat Broms now. Although Brom would not really focus on the fighting. He was a bit of a coward and would rather stay inside with Hedwig. Chapter 17. Leader of the Bromine. Hedwig started to go squawk furiously. Brom sighed. "What it now, Hedwig?" asked Brom. Bromine were all denoobing outside the Brom's house. "What is this?" yelled Brom, opening much of door. The Bromine burst into the house. "Brom," said the Bromine, "you are the very first Brom, and as such are the leader of Bromine." "I," said Brom, "the leader of Bromine?" The Bromine put a crown on Brom, and Brom laughed. He was much the leader of Bromine. Chapter 18. Victory of Brom. Brom and Hedwig sat there on the throne of Bromine. The Bromine all gathered around and did a worship of Brom. Brom smiled. He now controlled all the armies of Bromine, and he would no have to do any fightings. Brom tickled Hedwig, and she squawked at him. The Bromine made Brom a sacrifice of sheep. Brom smiled. It was now a world full of Bromine, just as his plan had said. The end.